anxious to listen. I was hoping that Dr. David Bronson could join us. You recall, I don't know if David has appeared before the East Cleveland City Council, that he participated in that meeting. You may recall, Kevin, for your city council, I think both the Health and Safety Committee.
I sent the letter to you.
Yes, yes.
Meeting.
Yeah.
I think he did. I think he came with Dr. Caius.
Yeah, he may have. I was with Dr. Caius that evening, remember, shortly after.
Yeah.
It was almost right afterwards. And,
Oh, thank you very much.
No problem. Did you?
No, I didn't want to.
Yeah. Thank you.
thanks, Marty.
Oh, thank you, Pastor. Thank you very much.
David Bronson is the president of our regional hospitals, and he's the one who's acting as the point person for the Cleveland Clinic on the issue of the trauma center at Huron. He is taken this week off, as has turns out a lot of people. I talked to David, and if necessary, we could have a follow-up conversation by telephone or something if it's necessary. But he was anxious that this meeting go forward, so that because it had been scheduled, and he didn't want anyone to be disappointed that that it would not take place. And so we're delighted to listen to the discussion and be as helpful as we can.
Do you have a card?
I do. I left it at my desk, and I'll get my card for all of you before you leave.
Let me write your name down again.
It's Oliver Hinkle, Henkel.
Yeah, I got you right here.
That's it.
Get the letter.
That's one and the same. And I'm the Chief Government Relations Officer at the clinic. As you can see, the office behind you is Toby Cosgrove's, and he's out this week, as are an awful lot of others. And the hospital doesn't shut down, but I'm not a doctor, so. But doctors take this week off, it seems to me, a lot, and so it's pretty quiet around here. It's a good time to have this discussion. And we're delighted to do it. And Marty is the person in the Office of Government Relations, Marty McGann. It's McGann.
I talked with Marty this morning.
And Marty works with me in the Office of Government Relations and is the point person for me on all state and local matters that involve governments of either the state or local communities.
Let me say this. Everywhere I go in the city, as well as in Cleveland Heights and Euclid, they talk about Cleveland Clinic. And people are afraid this trauma center is going to be closed. And let me say this, Mr. Hinckley, as you know, the clinic made a bad decision by not reaching out to key partners and stakeholders in the community, because it's a threat when you close the trauma center. And I see senior citizens as well as people with disabilities. They touch me on my shoulder and they say, Councilman, don't let them close our trauma center, because when they do that, eventually they'll close the hospital as well. And so they're afraid. So it's not, that's why when you and we talked earlier, and I said, well, it's not me, it's the community here. You got the councilwoman from that area, Barbara Thomas over there. You have Donna Brown, the community activist, they tell you the same thing.
Yes.
And then the pastors are saying the same thing. So I don't understand. That's what we need to seek to understand. They made this move, and they did not reach out to the community to explain or to seek to understand, if we make this move, what will be the pushback? And you never did. And so us as council members, people are calling us, talking with us, and we have a board of directors as well. And my board of directors is the residents that's in my community, and they're afraid. And let me say this before I yield to Council Member Barbara Thomas. is that I saw in the paper a lot of things that you have donated and with your